An evening meditation. Welcome, dear soul, to the gentle embrace of the evening. Welcome to this sacred and intentional pause at the close of another day. The sun has completed its journey across the sky, and now the world itself seems to exhale, softening its edges in the tender light of twilight. The frantic pace of the day begins to quieten, the symphony of demands recedes, and a deep, holy hush begins to settle over the earth. In this precious, liminal space between the day that has been and the night that will be, you have chosen to be here. You have chosen not to simply collapse into the evening, but to consciously enter it. You have chosen to honor the journey your body, your mind, and your spirit have taken, and to prepare for a period of true, restorative peace. This is a profound act of wisdom and self-compassion. In a world that often measures our worth by our relentless activity, the choice to intentionally rest is a revolutionary act of faith. We are here tonight not just to cease our activity, not just to power down from exhaustion. We are here to redefine the very nature of rest itself. We are here to discover that true, soul-deep rest is not an empty void, but a rich and positive state of being. It is not an absence, but a presence. It is an active and beautiful entering into the sanctuary of God, where we are not just emptied of our weariness, but are profoundly refilled with a peace and a strength that the world cannot give, and the world cannot take away. This is the secret to a rest that doesn't just end our day, but powerfully renews us for the one to come. To guide us on this sacred journey into the heart of rest, we will anchor our entire meditation in 3 beautiful and powerful invitations from the scriptures. Let us state them now at the very beginning of our practice. I invite you to receive these words not as mere text, but as a personal, divine invitation extended directly to your weary heart, right now, in this very moment. Let them be the gentle lighthouse beams guiding your soul into a safe harbor. First, we receive the great invitation, the open door to this sanctuary. From the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Second, we hold the great promise, the divine assurance of the source of this rest. From the book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 14. This is the Lord's direct reply to a soul longing for assurance. The Lord replied, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." And third, we embrace the great definition, the profound explanation of what this divine rest truly entails, from the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 10. For anyone who enters God's rest also rests from their works, just as God did from his. The invitation, the promise, and the definition. These are the 3 pillars of the sanctuary we are entering tonight. They are the keys that will unlock the door to a peace that restores, a quiet that strengthens, and a stillness that profoundly motivates. And so, let us begin the gentle, sacred process of arriving. Let us transition from the outer world of labor and striving to the inner world of release and receiving. Wherever you find yourself, I invite you to adjust your posture into one of complete and total comfort. The work of the day is done. This is not a time for rigid formality, but for gentle surrender. Allow your body to be as comfortable as possible. Let your spine be supported, your shoulders relax, Your limbs feel heavy and at ease. And now, if you feel comfortable and safe in doing so, I invite you to gently allow the curtains of your eyelids to close. This simple, quiet act is a powerful symbol. It is a signal to your body, to your mind, and to your spirit that the day's performance is over. The stage is now dark. The audience has gone home. You are stepping away from the demands of the world and entering the holy, private sanctuary of your own being, where you can be completely and totally yourself, held in the loving gaze of the divine. Let us begin our journey inward with the breath, our ever-present anchor. But this evening, our focus will be primarily on the exhale. For at the end of the day, there is so very much to release, so much to let go of, so much to unload. Let us begin with a practice I call the sacred unloading. Imagine that you have been on a long, arduous hike all day, and on your back, you have been carrying a heavy, cumbersome backpack. This backpack is filled with the weight of your day, all the tasks, the worries, the conversations, the burdens. You are weary not just from the walking, but from the immense weight you have been carrying. Now, you have arrived at your evening resting place, and it is finally time to take this backpack off. We will do this piece by piece, with each long, slow, releasing exhale. First, let us unload the physical burdens. Take a deep, gentle breath in, and as you exhale, with a long, soft sigh, I invite you to release the physical tension of your day. Feel the tightness in your shoulders begin to melt. Feel the stiffness in your neck begin to dissolve. Let go of the ache in your lower back. Release the weariness in your legs and feet. With this exhale, you are setting down the physical weight of your labor, the sheer bodily effort of moving through the world. Let your body feel heavy, limp, and deeply supported by the surface beneath you. Now, let us unload the mental burdens. Take another deep, calming breath in, and as you exhale, consciously set down the weight of your thoughts. Unload the unfinished to-do list that is still running in your mind. Release the mental gymnastics of problems you are trying to solve. Let go of the conversations you have been replaying over and over. Unload the burden of information overload, the clutter of news, headlines, emails, and notifications. Imagine your mind as a sky that was once filled with frantic, buzzing insects, and with this exhale, you are watching them all fly away, leaving behind a vast, quiet, peaceful evening sky. Next, let us unload the emotional burdens. This part of the backpack is often the heaviest. Take a slow, compassionate breath in, and as you exhale, give yourself permission to set down the emotional weight of your day. Release the frustration you felt when things didn't go your way. Let go of the sting of a critical word or a misunderstanding. Unload the heavy cloak of disappointment from an unmet expectation. Release the subtle but corrosive weight of any envy or comparison you may have felt. Let go of any guilt or shame that may be clinging to you. You are not denying these feelings. You are simply choosing not to carry them with you into your sacred time of rest. You are setting them down at the door of this sanctuary. Finally, let us unload the most subtle and often the most exhausting burden of all, the spiritual burden. Take the deepest, most trusting breath you have taken all day, and as you exhale, release the immense, crushing weight of trying to be in control. Let go of the burden of being your own God. Release the weight of worrying about the future. Unload the heavy responsibility of trying to manage everyone else's happiness. Let go of the deep soul fatigue that comes from trying to hold your entire world together through your own strength and effort. This is the heaviest part of the pack, and as you set it down, feel the incredible lightness that enters your soul. You have arrived. The backpack is off. You are unburdened. You are empty in the most beautiful way, empty of tension, empty of clutter, empty of striving. You have created a sacred, open space within yourself. Now that we have made this space, let us use our breath to invite in the qualities of divine rest. As you inhale, gently breathe in a profound sense of peace. Imagine this peace as a soft, warm, honey golden light, the color of a perfect sunset. Feel it enter your body and fill the very spaces that were just emptied of their burdens. Feel this golden light of peace pooling in your heart, soothing every raw edge. As you exhale, simply sigh and settle deeper into this peace. On your next inhale, breathe in a sense of profound safety. Know that in this present moment, in this sanctuary, you are completely and totally safe. You are protected. You are watched over by a love that is more powerful than anything you fear. As you exhale, feel your entire body relax in this atmosphere of perfect safety. Feel your muscles let go of their guarding, their bracing. You are safe. Now, breathe in a sense of divine acceptance. Inhale the truth that you are being held in a gaze of unconditional love. You do not need to perform. You do not need to prove your worth. You are loved right now, exactly as you are, weary, imperfect, and all. As you exhale, release any lingering need to be anyone other than who you are in this moment. You are enough. Let us deepen this state of release with a final, gentle journey through the body, affirming this state of rest. Bring your awareness to your feet. They have carried you all day. Silently, in your heart, say thank you to your feet. And now, give them permission to completely rest. Bring your awareness to your legs. They have provided you with strength and movement. Thank them and let them rest. Feel them heavy and still. Bring your awareness to your torso, the core of your being, which has held you upright. Thank it and let it rest. Feel your belly soften. Feel your chest open. Bring your awareness to your arms and hands. They have worked and served and created all day. Thank them and let them rest. Feel the energy of doing drain away, replaced by the peaceful energy of being. Bring your awareness to your head, your mind. It has been planning, analyzing, worrying, and problem solving. Thank your mind for its incredible work. And now, give it permission to be quiet. Give it permission to rest. Assure it that you are safe, and it does not need to be on high alert. Your entire being, body, mind, and spirit is now more relaxed, more peaceful, and more receptive than it has been all day. You have successfully navigated the sacred transition from the outer world of works to the inner sanctuary of rest. You have accepted the great invitation. You have unloaded your burdens at the door. You have created a clean and holy space within your soul. From this beautiful, quiet, and receptive state, you are now truly ready to journey deeper. You are ready to understand the profound source of the rest you seek, to explore the promise of His presence, and to learn what it truly means to cease from your own works and enter into the glorious, restorative, and motivational rest of the Lord. Rest here, in this peaceful stillness, for a few moments more. There is absolutely nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, no one you need to become. Simply exist in this calm, unburdened, and holy state. Feel the gentle, reassuring rhythm of your own breath, a lullaby for your soul. You have arrived. You are fully present. From this place of profound peace, from this centered and holy ground, we are now ready to continue our journey into the very heart of the sanctuary of rest. From this beautiful and sacred state of unburdened stillness, let us now venture deeper into the very heart of our meditation. We have arrived at the doorway of the sanctuary, having set down the heavy burdens of our day. Now we are invited to step across the threshold, to explore the inner chambers of this divine rest, and to discover the profound, life-altering power it holds not just to end our day in peace, but to powerfully prepare us for the dawn of a new one. This is not a journey into sleepiness. It is a journey into strength. Let us begin by holding in our hearts the most tender and personal of invitations, the very words that opened the door for us tonight, from the Gospel of Matthew. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Let us linger on these first three words. Come to me. What does this truly mean, here and now, in this quiet moment? It is not a call to a physical journey. You do not need to go anywhere. It is a call to a spiritual orientation. It is an invitation to turn the full attention of your heart, your mind, and your soul in one specific direction. Imagine that all day long, your attention has been facing outward toward your tasks, your screens, your responsibilities, the people around you. Now, in this moment, you are consciously, intentionally, lovingly turning your inner gaze away from all of that and turning it toward the presence of the one who is speaking these words. It is a gentle pivot of the soul. It is a coming home. And who is this invitation for? It is not for the strong, the perfect, or the ones who have it all together. The invitation is exquisitely specific. It is for all you who are weary and burdened. Take a moment to honestly check in with yourself. Do you feel weary? Not just tired, but soul. Weary? Do you feel the weight of your burdens, the ones we just unloaded? If the answer is yes, then understand this with absolute clarity. This divine invitation has your name on it. This is not a general broadcast to the world. This is a personal, engraved invitation delivered directly to your heart, right now. The King of the universe has looked upon your weariness, not with disappointment, but with infinite compassion, and has said, "You, come here. I have something for you." There is no greater affirmation of your worthiness to be in this moment than your very weariness itself. Your fatigue is your ticket of admission into this sacred space. And what is the promise for those who accept this invitation? And I will give you rest. Notice the profound grammar of grace in this promise. It does not say, and if you try really hard, you might achieve rest. It does not say, and you must work to find rest. It says, I will give you rest. Rest is a divine gift. It is not something you must strive for. It is something you are invited to receive. This truth alone should release a great burden from your shoulders. Your only work tonight is to position yourself to receive the gift that is being freely offered. You are simply opening your hands to accept the profound peace that is being extended to you. This leads us to the central, motivational core of our meditation tonight. If rest is a gift from God, what exactly is it? What are we being given? The letter to the Hebrews gives us a revolutionary definition. It says that anyone who enters God's rest also rests from their works, just as God did from his. Let us explore this profound idea of resting from our works. At first glance, we might think this simply means resting from our job, our chores, our physical labor. And it does include that. But the scripture points to something much deeper, much more transformative. The works that truly exhaust us, the source of our deepest soul. Fatigue are the exhausting internal labors we engage in all day long. These are the heavy, invisible burdens we carry. What are these works? First, there is the exhausting work of worrying. This is the work of trying to be our own fortune teller, of running endless, draining simulations in our minds about a future we cannot control. It is the work of trying to anticipate every possible problem, to solve every potential crisis before it happens. This mental striving, this constant what-if game, is one of the most draining forms of labor there is. To rest from this work is to consciously say, I am not the manager of the future. I release this burden to the one who holds all of my tomorrows. Second, there is the heavy work of regret and shame. This is the work of being our own prosecutor and judge, of constantly replaying our past mistakes, of carrying the heavy chains of guilt for things we cannot change. This internal labor keeps us anchored to a dead past, draining the energy we need for the living present. To rest from this work is to accept the forgiveness and grace that is offered, and to trust that our past does not define our future in God's eyes. Third, there is the incredibly tiring work of managing perceptions. This is the work of being our own public relations agent, of constantly striving to win the approval of others, of carefully crafting an image of who we think we should be. It is the exhausting performance of trying to be strong enough, smart enough, successful enough, or spiritual enough to earn the esteem of our peers, our family, or even God. To rest from this work is to find the profound peace of being unconditionally accepted, of knowing that our true identity is secure as a beloved child of God, and it requires no performance. And finally, there is the ultimate and most soul-crushing work of all, the work of trying to be our own God. This is the deep, foundational striving to be our own savior, our own provider, our own protector, and our own source of strength. It is the belief that if we just try hard enough, plan well enough, and strive relentlessly enough, we can control our lives and secure our own well-being. This is the very essence of the pattern of this world, and it is the source of our most profound spiritual weariness. To enter God's rest, as Hebrews defines it, is to take a vacation from this impossible, exhausting job. It is to consciously and deliberately cease from all these frantic, internal works. It is to clock out from the job of running the universe. And in that cessation, in that holy surrender, we discover what true rest is. This brings us to our next pillar, the great promise from Exodus that reveals the very substance of this rest. When Moses was weary and burdened with the weight of leading a nation, he pleaded for assurance, and the Lord replied with these powerful words, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." This is the secret. This is the motivational core. Divine rest is not an empty void. It is not a state of nothingness. True, restorative, empowering rest is the direct, experiential result of being in and filled by the very presence of God. The rest is not the absence of problems. The rest is the presence of God in the midst of the problems. The peace is not the absence of noise. The peace is the presence of a deeper, more powerful stillness that underlies all the noise. The strength is not the absence of weakness. The strength is the presence of a divine power that is made perfect in our weakness. Therefore, your goal tonight is not to try to rest. That is just another form of striving, another work. Your goal, your only gentle intention, is to turn your full attention toward His presence. You come to Him, you cease from your own internal works, and you simply open yourself to receive His presence. And the rest? The rest is the guaranteed byproduct. He gives it to you. It is the atmosphere of His very being. You cannot be in the presence of perfect peace and remain anxious. You cannot be in the presence of perfect love and remain fearful. You cannot be in the presence of perfect strength and remain depleted. His presence itself is the rest. And this is where the profound motivational power is unleashed. The world's idea of rest is about depletion. You run until your battery is at zero, and then you collapse, hoping to recharge just enough to do it all again. It is a cycle of depletion and partial recovery. But God's rest is about deep restoration and divine realignment. When we cease from our works and enter His presence, we are not just powering down, we are plugging in. We are connecting our weary, finite spirit to the infinite, inexhaustible source of all life, all peace, all wisdom, and all power. This is not a passive process. It is an active receiving. As you rest in His presence, you are not just emptying out your stress. You are being actively refilled with His Spirit. Imagine your soul as a dry, thirsty sponge. All day it has been squeezed out by the demands of the world. Now, in this sanctuary of rest, you are placing that sponge into the infinite ocean of God's presence. What happens? The sponge doesn't have to try to get wet. It simply, effortlessly, absorbs the living water that surrounds it. It becomes full, heavy with life, and completely restored to its original nature. This is the motivation. The rest you are entering into tonight is not just for the purpose of ending this day. It is for the powerful and glorious purpose of preparing you for the next one. The strength, the clarity, the creativity, and the purpose you will need for tomorrow are not generated by a frantic, sleep-deprived push. They are downloaded into your spirit during this sacred time of divine rest. By resting from the exhausting work of worry, you are being refilled with a spirit of trust that will make you a calm and steady presence tomorrow. By resting from the heavy work of regret, you are being refilled with a spirit of grace that will allow you to be more compassionate with yourself and others tomorrow. By resting from the tiring work of managing perceptions, You are being refilled with a spirit of authentic confidence that will allow you to act with integrity and courage tomorrow. By resting from the impossible work of being your own God, you are being refilled with the very power and wisdom of the one true God, empowering you to face whatever tomorrow holds, not with your own limited resources, but with His infinite supply. This is the ultimate life hack. This is the secret of the saints. The most productive, powerful, and purposeful thing you can do to prepare for a successful tomorrow is to completely and utterly cease from your own works and rest deeply in the presence of God tonight. Your rest becomes your most powerful preparation. Your surrender becomes your greatest strength. Your stillness becomes your source of unstoppable momentum. So breathe into this truth. Let it dismantle your old, worldly ideas about rest and replace them with this powerful, motivational, divine reality. You are not weak for needing rest. You are wise for seeking it. You are not ending your day in defeat. You are beginning your victory for tomorrow. You are a beloved child of God, invited into the inner sanctuary to be unburdened, to be restored, and to be profoundly refilled with the very life and power of your Creator. This is the gift that awaits you. This is the rest He so freely gives. And so, we arrive at the threshold of deep rest. You have journeyed inward, away from the clamor of the world and the striving of your own works. You have answered the great invitation, feeling its personal call to your weary heart. You have explored the revolutionary truth that true rest is not an empty void, but a powerful, positive state of being filled by the very presence of God. You have come to understand that the deepest source of your exhaustion is the impossible, internal work of trying to be your own savior, and that true rest is a glorious vacation from that crushing job. From this place of deep understanding and peaceful surrender, let us now consciously integrate these truths, preparing not only for a night of profound sleep, but for a morning of powerful, purposeful awakening. This brings us to the ultimate motivational reframe for our entire lives. To truly rest, to cease from our own works and enter God's sanctuary, is perhaps the single greatest act of faith we can perform. It is a powerful, non-verbal declaration of our deepest beliefs. When you choose to truly rest tonight, you are declaring your faith that God is sovereign. You are saying, I can let go of my worries and my need to control, because I believe that the Creator of the cosmos is still on His throne while I am asleep. The universe will not fall apart if I am not anxiously trying to hold it together. This act of release is an act of profound worship. When you choose to truly rest tonight, you are declaring your faith in God's goodness. You are saying, I can surrender my burdens, my fears, and my regrets into His hands, because I believe He is a loving Father who works all things together for my good. This act of surrender is an act of profound trust. When you choose to truly rest tonight, you are declaring your faith in your own identity as a beloved child. You are saying, I do not have to earn my worth through relentless striving. My value is not in my productivity. I can cease from my works because my identity is secure in who I am, not in what I do. This act of stillness is an act of profound self-acceptance and spiritual confidence. Therefore, see this time not as a passive shutting down, but as your most active and powerful expression of faith for the entire day. Your deep rest is your deepest prayer. Your surrender is your loudest song of praise. To anchor this feeling, this powerful act of faith, deep within your soul, I invite you now on one final, guided journey of the imagination. Let us travel together to the shores of a still harbor. Continue with your slow, deep, and easy breathing. I want you to imagine your soul as a ship. All day long, this ship has been navigating the vast and often stormy seas of the world. It has faced strong winds of adversity, choppy waves of difficult interactions, and thick fogs of confusion. The engines have been running at full power. The crew has been on high alert, and the captain, your conscious, striving mind is weary from the constant vigilance of steering, correcting, and navigating. Your ship is sturdy. It has made it through the day, but it is tired, and it is ready for port. As the sun sets on the horizon of your day, casting a final, beautiful, golden glow across the water, you see a light in the distance. It is not a harsh, flashing light, but a warm, steady, welcoming beacon shining from the entrance to a perfectly calm and protected harbor. This is the light of God's presence, the beacon of His invitation to come to me. Your ship, your soul, naturally turns toward this light. And now, you are called to perform your final, most important act of the day, the act of resting from your works. You reach down and you consciously turn off the loud, striving, vibrating engines of your own effort. You silence the engine of worry about tomorrow's weather. You shut down the engine of replaying today's navigational errors. You power down the engine of trying to get to the harbor by your own steam. You let your ship simply be still upon the water, floating, surrendered, with its sails down. And in the silence, you notice something wonderful. A gentle, unseen current begins to pull your ship forward. It is the current of grace. You realize you don't have to navigate your way into the harbor. The harbor master himself is lovingly and expertly guiding you in. This is his presence going with you. Your only job is to allow it, to trust it, to surrender to the gentle, inexorable pull toward a place of perfect safety and peace. You feel your ship glide smoothly, silently, through the harbor entrance, past the protective stone walls that block out all the waves and the wind of the open sea. The water inside this harbor is as still and as clear as glass, perfectly reflecting the deep, star-filled sky above. This is the sanctuary of rest. Your ship glides to a dock made of ancient, solid wood. This is the dock of divine security. Gentle, loving hands the hands of the harbor master toss, thick, sturdy ropes around the posts, securing your vessel completely. You are safe. You are anchored. You are home. Nothing can harm you here. No storm can reach you. The journey of the day is well and truly over. And as your ship rests in this perfect stillness, the work of restoration begins. You can feel the very timbers of your soul beginning to absorb the peace of the still water. A quiet, diligent crew angels of grace perhaps comes on board. They are not here to inspect or to judge your voyage. They are here to lovingly restore you. They begin to patch the sails that were torn by the day's winds. They polish the wood that was worn by the waves. They refuel your engines, not with the frantic fuel of the world, but with the quiet, potent, divine fuel of peace. They clean the windows of your navigation bridge. wiping away the salt spray of the day so that tomorrow you can see with crystal clarity. You, the captain, can now completely and utterly rest. You can go to your cabin, lie down, and fall into a deep, untroubled sleep, knowing with absolute certainty that your vessel is not only safe, but is being profoundly renewed, restored, and powerfully prepared for the new dawn. This is the rest He gives you. Now, to carry the feeling of this safe harbor with you into your own sleep, let us arm your spirit with a final set of affirmations. These are your lullabies of truth, powerful statements that you can repeat silently as you drift off, commissioning your subconscious mind to continue this work of restoration as you sleep. Let each one sink deep into your soul. I will say each one, and I invite you to receive it as your own personal truth. I have come with my weariness and my burdens, and the Lord is giving me His rest. Tonight, I cease from my own works, just as God rested from His. My striving is over. The Lord's powerful and loving presence is my sanctuary. In Him, I am completely safe. As I sleep, my soul is not just resting, it is being actively renewed, restored, and refilled. I release the day that has passed with gratitude, and I surrender the day to come with trust. I am not depleting, I am plugging in. I am being charged with divine strength, peace, and purpose. I will wake in the morning not with the weight of yesterday, but with the motivation and power that comes from true divine rest. Take a deep, final, trusting breath, and let these truths be the last conscious thoughts in your mind before you surrender to the peace of sleep. Let them be the guardians of your heart and mind throughout the night. And now, a final blessing. This is not just a closing, but a commissioning for the hours of night and the moments of waking. May the peace of God, which transcends all our human understanding, guard your heart and your mind as you sleep. May your rest be deep and untroubled, a true sanctuary for your body, a quiet harbor for your soul. May you be so profoundly restored in the presence of the Lord tonight that you awaken in the morning not with a groggy sense of obligation, but with a surge of quiet, holy motivation. May you awaken with a spirit that is light and unburdened. May you awaken with a mind that is clear and focused. May you awaken with a heart that is filled with courage and compassion. May you awaken with a body that is rested and energized. May you rise from your bed tomorrow not as a weary survivor, but as a powerfully renewed and commissioned child of the King, ready to partner with Him in the great and beautiful work of a new day. Tonight, you have done your most important work. You have chosen to rest. And in that rest, you have found your ultimate strength. Sleep now, beloved one. Sleep in peace, sleep in safety, and awaken in power. Amen.